Do you see those women on the wall back there? My wonderful, talented, amazing friend Delara painted those for me during the pandemic. I chose the women and she painted them. For those of you who don't know, it's Grace Hopper, Maya Angelou, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and Nina Simone. Those are my women. And this thing right here says Be Brave, which I got from my friends Tanya and Sherelle. Do you know what they all have in common? They're very, very different women in terms of their place in the world, what they did, etc. But you know what they have in common? They had a voice, a strong voice, a voice that was uniquely theirs. They weren't all crazy extroverts. They weren't all performers. They're what they were is intelligent and connected, right? And they used their voice. Why am I telling you this? I'm telling you because I think the magic happens for each of us when we find our unique voice, our authenticity, and figure out how to bring it forward. We figure out where does it need to be heard, when does it need to be heard, and how are you going to bring it forward without shying away from what you know, and also being open to discussion and dialogue and encouragement and all of it. So, over the coming weeks, what I want to talk about is finding your voice, how it is the thing that enables you to engage with others, build a community, empower yourself. It's the thing that will help you set boundaries. It's the thing that will drive your confidence forward, right? So we're going to find our voices. Some of you have strong voices already, and that's awesome. Some of you have very strong voices and they don't get heard, maybe because of how you show up. Do you show up as authentically yourself, or are you showing up in a way like I might have early in my career that you thought was the appropriate way for people to show up? In a world where I was really surrounded by men, sometimes I showed up in that very masculine, heavy way. And it wasn't me. That's not who I am. I am this woman. I was going to try to describe myself, and then I was like, man, I don't even know how to start. But what I can tell you is that the moment I try to show up differently, people who are used to being around me go, what's that? What are you doing? When I am myself, whether that self is bubbly and energetic or quiet and a little reserved or even a little pissed off, it's authentic. And if you get to know me, you know what that looks like. And that's what you want. You don't want some cookie cutter version of you that is like gingerbread man, gingerbread woman, right? You want to be yourself and show up as yourself. So how are we going to do that? How did I do it? How do you want to do it? I think a lot of people would be surprised to know that I was a pretty shy kid. I was abused. Was in a super toxic environment, and I wasn't the most outgoing. I wasn't the most like bubbly. I had my moments, right? I was really good one-on-one. I had my moments in certain environments, but it wasn't just a natural place for me. Over the years, I've figured out what works for me and what doesn't. That voice is very strongly my own. Apparently, I have somewhere to be in 10 minutes. What I was saying was my voice is very uniquely my own. And so I want to talk about that because I do think it's important, and we have a tendency to fall back to a different voice than the one that is ours. So we are going to channel our inner Grace, Maya, Nina, and Ruth. But we're also going to channel our inner unique self, the you that is, in there and that we all need to hear from. Looking forward to it.